This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Cats and Pudding. And today we have a great episode. We have my friend, Jamie Thivierge. I said it right.
You said it beautifully.
Because the H is silent.
H is silent.
And you married I've just learned something new about you. You married a Frenchman.
I married a Frenchman, but I'm almost 100% Italian.
Well, is the sex good because he's French?
Because
they're like a language of love and all
not bad. I mean, I do have a glow about me.
You certainly do. And I'm not saying and
he's here, so maybe later you can meet him.
Wow, I'd love to. I want to see that. I want to see the whole package. Does he have an accent still?
He does not.
Okay.
No.
But does he speak?
Very little. I mean, when you see him, he looks more like a lumberjack than he does a Frenchman, but right?
A lumberjack Frenchman.
Yeah,
I love it.
But he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Number two, second husband, so.
But I remember you saying that this one was the one.
This is the one. The first one, you know.
And did that lead you to where you are now? Maybe did it start your journey on therapy?
I think maybe a little bit.
Well, let's tell everybody what you do. We're going into it.
Yes.
So,
so I am a therapist, a motivator, motivational therapist, mostly for women.
Dolores loved you, by the way.
I love Dolores.
We both did. We loved talking to you that night. She's such a great girl.
I just need to be with her again.
I love her so much. She's just such a great, good friend. I love her deal.
And what I love about Dolores is that she's so real.
Yes.
And
what you see is what you get.
Absolutely.
We're talking about Dolores Catania from The Housewives.
Yeah. So Dolores, we're coming to get you, girl.
She's a good friend. I love her. Since I told you my brother's been in the hospital. She every day she checks on me. You know, she always makes sure she's keeps in touch, and she's just a good friend. And she's the type of friend where I don't have to hang out with her every day to know that. If I called her in a second, she'd drop it and come and help me.
Well, when you two were together, I happen to have this nice little gift inside of me that is not prideful at all. But if I'm going to motivate women and people, you need to embrace how you're made.
Right.
And for me, I just can sense people's layers. And when the two of you were standing next to each other, the sisterhood that I felt between the two of you was amazing. Yeah. So I can. She's a good
soul. Person. She is. Yeah. She's a good person, and as you get older, you don't make friends that quickly anymore. You know what I mean? I'm one of the lucky ones. I do have friends since I'm like 4 years old. I still have those types of friends, which a lot of people don't these days. Right. But I did get rid of a lot of people throughout the years.
I like to say you weeded your garden.
I weeded my garden, but sometimes you have to let people go for your own health, I guess.
That's
even if you have to love them from a distance, I say.
You can love them, you don't have to like them, and you have good, healthy boundaries.
Yes.
That's a good boundary. Being a therapist began for me when I went through some early on personal issues, coming out of a divorce, of course, at the age of 30. And
you had children?
I had no children with him.
Okay. Well, thank God that's a blessing.
Absolutely. And it was kind of like...
Because you're connected to that person the rest of your life. There's nothing you could do about it. You're constantly connected to them.
And it was kind of like we were friends, and then we decided, well, let's get married. We're dating. And we went in, and it was early 90s. All of my friends were getting married. And so, of course, I had this big $20,000 Italian wedding, which my father called my...
Oh, I know. I'm doing one right now for my daughter.
My $20,000 dress rehearsal, he called it. But, of course... you're 30.
That's great.
You're 30. $20,000 dress rehearsal.
I'm going to tell my daughter that. Don't give me $100,000 because now they're like $100,000.
Amen.
No, you don't even know. I'm pricing stuff out right now.
I'm glad I have a boy. I'm glad I have a son.
God. It's crazy.
But I, coming out of that, I went back home when I was 30, laying in my old bedroom, thinking to myself, oh my God, what do I do? I've been with this person, both dating, engagement, and married for 4 years, for 10 years of my life. Now I'm 30 and I'm home. And I'm back in my old bedroom. And so 30 years old, what's put in your mind is, oh my gosh, I'm going to die alone with, no one.
Yeah.
But, for me, it wasn't about racing right back out there.
Yeah.
For me, it was about taking some time for myself.
So have a relationship with yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then was introduced to my husband that I have now. But
and how long have you been together now?
Oh, we're married 25 years.
Beautiful. And you have children together.
One son, 20.
Wow.
And
you know what? The best thing you could do for your kids is to love each other.
That's right.
it.
Absolutely.
If the parents love each other and have a good relationship, that is the best thing for a kid.
Absolutely.
You could see it so much in life, how the kids thrive like so much more. That's why this whole single parent household, it's just not good for them. I mean, not saying that you don't have good children with one parent, but if you can have a happy household with a mother and a father, children do thrive more.
They do.
It's not even being any other thing, but it's been proven over and over again.
I know my son was
documented proof.
My son was one of the few out of his friends to actually have two of us.
Yeah.
And all his friends still today, it's the house. He's graduating college, but on weekends everybody's at our house. So,
because they feel that camaraderie and they like to come to houses that they feel that in.
And I like to be that house. Yeah. Come on, eat.
That's my house too. Everybody likes to come to my house.
It's good.
They do.
When Nicholas, that's my son, was about 2 years old, my mother, who I was very close to,
she passed away.
She had 5 strokes and was in the hospital and for 3 months. And we were back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Was he very close to her?
Very close.
Yeah.
And she actually...
Is Nona? Nona.
Mm-hmm. She came... we were told she was going to pass away. She never did. She came out of that hospital as... I was raised by super strong women.
Yeah.
My father was not in my life for the first 17 years. He lived locally, but I was raised by my grandmother, my mother, my aunt, and my cousins. We were all together. Amen. Couldn't ask for anything different. Because it's amazing to me how we look back at our past, but we realize God had a plan.
Yeah.
Because
and you don't realize how much your past makes you the person that you are.
Absolutely.
I grew up without parents. My mother died. My father died when I was very young, and my mother died when I was young. So it was hard. I was an orphan by the time I was 18 years old.
But what strength it brought you.
Yes.
So when my mom got back home from the hospital, I actually collapsed from being so strong for so many years.
You just needed to collapse.
And I developed severe panic and anxiety.
Wow.
I had pulled chest muscles from lifting her, helping to maneuver her, bathe her. I was a mess. I lost 30 pounds in 4 weeks. I could not take care of my son. God bless him. He played by himself. But going through all of that I went to doctor and therapist and hypnotist.
And it was all in here.
Everything. But going through all of that, it increased my faith. I have to say it increased my faith. But then I realized...
Are you Catholic?
I am not Catholic.
Christian.
I grew up Catholic, but I'm a Christian girl.
You're a Christian.
And I came through that.
Are you non-denominational now?
Yes, Christian.
Did you go to Sunday school?
I am a pastor, assistant pastor.
I love that.
Yes, and I love it. And I empower women to all ages. You know something? Gone are the days where you don't have to say, I'm a Christian. Just say it. I'm a Christian. I have my own relationship with God and nobody's business.
Right.
And so for me, when I decided this is something I want to get into, I had no idea how big it would become. So now Renewed Hope is my practice. Mm-hmm. And I see women as young as 6. My oldest client is 80 years old. And it's emotional beauty was born out of my practice.
Do you incorporate the church into it too? Or do you feel like it's more like
if they want it?
Okay.
But I do get people that come in that
have
no faith.
Interest.
They have no interest.
Isn't that terrible?
So for me, I know who I'm working. Mm-hmm. I know who's working through me.
Do you feel that these people ever, if that might be their problem, is that if they don't have any faith and believe in something else?
I do, because we have to have some type of foundation.
Right.
And whether it has to be some type of faith.
Right.
You know,
Can't be an ideology. It's got to be faith.
I mean, faith. And whatever faith looks like to that individual, that's between you and him.
Right.
For me, I just kind of make it, that it's okay.
Yeah.
That it's okay. It's you don't have to have your hair in a bun and a turtleneck and a plaid skirt on to have a relationship with God.
Right.
For me, it's like, I love everything.
Yeah.
I love makeup and jewelry and clothes. But at the end of the day, when it all comes off, I know that there's an emotional, beautiful person inside.
Like, I was raised Catholic. I mean, I'm not a devout Catholic. I don't go to church every Sunday. I mean, I had to. I went to Catholic school.
Oh, yeah.
Catholic grammar school, Catholic high school, Catholic college. I did the whole gamut. I mean, my mother was a bride of Christ. Like, it was like legit. Like, the Catholic. And, I say to myself now, I did feel better when I was younger and I used to go to church. I used to like going to church. I never realized it. Now I look back on it, I'm like, maybe I should start going back to church.
I think if you find a church that, for me, I'm not about religion. I'm about relationships.
Yes.
And I think if you find a church that you love and it esteems you for the rest of the week.
And I was thinking about maybe doing a Christian church as opposed to Catholic, because I do like the Catholic religion and I whatever, but I feel like sometimes it's Gothic, it's a little scary.
Yeah. Growing up Catholic and the same, like you said, I went to Catholic church. I remember being in 5th grade and I went home and said to my mother, Mom, you're paying for me to go to this church or to this school. I don't like it. I'm scared to death. And she yanked me out at the end of the year.
Because it is a little scary if you think about it.
I think there's a lot of rules and regulations.
Yes, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's like militant almost.
Yeah.
Right?
And what good does that do?
No,
us?
it doesn't good that, because God's supposed to be merciful and loving and happy. We're not in the military here,
and we all screw up.
Yeah,
and you know what? When we screw up, you need to know. You know what?
Yeah.
You're all right.
Right.
So emotional beauty came out of just. I remember one day thinking to myself, I see so many women that come in, and they think I need 2 emotions, Jamie, happy and sad, and I don't want to feel anything else. Well, that's virtually impossible because you need to feel.
Right.
You need to lean into things. There are so many different emotions that women feel, and I just want you to know, go ahead and feel them. It's okay.
What do you think that women, do you see mostly women or do you see men too?
Mostly women. I have had my fair share of men. I'm not opposed to it.
You did?
But
I've
had my fair share of men. Jeff, don't say anything.
We won't say it to everybody that's watching.
But,
do you feel, so what do you think is always the main problem usually in a relationship? Do you feel like it's broken relationships that they come in for?
Usually, and this is what I always say, the issue is never really the issue. When people come in, they come in. I had one woman come in and she said to me, Jamie, can I swear on here?
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, good. She's like, I'm going to fucking kill my husband. I'm going to kill him or I'm going to change the locks. And I'm like, well, let's start with the locks. So instead of prison, go to Home Depot.
Right. Yeah, that's maybe the better choice.
But the issue really was within herself. But sure, relationships galore are the problem. Women who are broken, women who've never taken time to look at who they are or look at their identity, which takes years and it takes wisdom. But I have an 80-year-old that comes in and oh my God, she's like, now all the kids are out of the house. Now all the grandchildren are out of the house. Now I'm looking at my husband of 50 something years and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing here? So it's relational, but for me, I just want to encourage women to look inside of themselves as well as having the external.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bunch of different issues.
Do you ever get like angry with a patient that you just want to strangle them and I could say, I don't know, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah, and I get that when I watch the New Jersey Housewives too. I want to jump in there and I want to say to
beat
these
the shit out of people. I know.
I mean, of course. I mean, because for me, again, it's seeing the layers.
You know what's funny?
What's not being addressed.
I don't watch reality shows.
Oh,
I
my
really
God.
don't. I have a lot of patients who are on shows, but I don't watch them. I don't have the I can't, because I don't like it as entertainment. It makes me nervous.
Yes.
So I don't like to watch it anymore. I used to watch them, years ago. Now, I'll watch a snippet or whatever. Obviously, if Dolores, I want to see her, she'll tell me, "Oh, watch this," and I'll watch it. But first, I have no time to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And by the time I put the TV on, it's like I'm watching it for 10 seconds and I'm out sleeping. So I have to rewind it 27 times before I get the whole show anyway.
Reality TV is hard for me because I deal with so much reality during the day that I've
have enough reality.
I've become a Hallmark Christmas movie watcher because I'm like,
because you want the non-reality. Yes.
I'm like, everybody leaves their New York City 7-digit job,
to move to freaking Pennsylvania,
to go to Vermont and marry the lumberjack.
Right. Of course, that makes sense.
But I think yes, I do. When people come in and they say, "Listen, this is what I want to change," and we're in sessions now, we're on the 8th session, and they're still not moving forward or taking the advice that they're coming in to seek. It's very frustrating. Yeah. And then I have the ones that come in and they can't get enough.
Right.
So, yeah.
But so how does, like, let's just say somebody's like on doing drugs or drinking. Do you think that if they maybe the substance abuse will take, it's a toll on you're helping them, and you have to tell them like, hey, you're going to have to recover.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just because this is going to alter you, and you're going to have to get out of that cycle.
Most of the time, why I did not become an addiction was not a specialty for me, was because that's such a whole different gamut. And it's very hard because it is a disease, and it's very hard for people to step out of that.
Right.
And then stay on that path and then get the help.
Yes.
Emotional and help that they need. Yeah. So for me, that's not really my wheelhouse.
Right.
But I have had some come in because the family or friends have forced them to come in. And that never works.
But that doesn't work.
You have to want it.
Right.
You have to want it.
So you would tell that person, listen, you need to go to the rooms or whatever. You need to go to NA,
you have to
whatever
pick
it
a
is,
good recovery program,
and then before you could do therapy.
Take that hat off, and then we'll work on
Once
the
you
other.
Get into that and get some clean time, then we could talk.
Absolutely.
Right, so that's great that you do that because it doesn't work.
Well, you can keep them coming in,
and it's not going to
help. It's not worth my time, and it's not helping them.
Yeah,
and it's not worth their time or their money.
Right.
Because when you really know they need something different, you have to be honest and tell them, listen, I want you to be healthy, but you're not ready for this.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
Who do you have? I mean, you never want to say it, but do you have like patients that you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad they're coming in today, so I don't have to listen to this other one? Because I can imagine there's some people that you just want to probably commit suicide. Like,
let me tell you,
to their shit.
There are days.
Like, oh my God. No.
Oh. There are days, and it's being honest. There are days that I wake up and I'm like, "Who's on the calendar today?"
Did you ever go through a whole session and not listen to somebody? Honestly,
of course. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking
about what you're going to cook for dinner.
What do I got to do after this? What clothes do I need to...
See, I knew my therapist wasn't listening to me. I knew it.
What clothes need to be in the dry? Did I make the bed?
I love it.
Did I blow out the candle? Who's taking the dog out?
Transparency. I love it.
You know what? This is it. Yeah. It's all real.
We're all human.
Absolutely.
So we all have that. So
absolutely. Absolutely. You got it. And then I get ones that just talk for the full hour,
and you just listen.
And I'm like, this is great.
And you listen like, this is a great story.
Or I'm taking notes, but I'm really making my shopping list. I know.
I love that. I have to tell you, doing what I do, I'm also a therapist. I feel like, I become a therapist, your hairdresser.
Can I make an appointment with you?
I would love for you, yes.
And you can do whatever you want to me as long as you listen.
And I do listen. It's funny. I'm like, I should charge for therapy sessions too. But you know what? I don't mind it because I guess they feel like they're in a safe place to talk to me and
being safe is so important to people. They want to know that they can speak and they feel safe.
I have so much shit that people have told me that I should be murdered for it because nobody I have a lot of information about things the patients told me.
I did have one gentleman come in at the beginning, oh my gosh, of when I just planted myself in this new office. And he had the whole mafia connections and whatever. And he said, I'm going to tell you things, but I'm telling you, you can't say anything. And I'm
my God, so analyze this
I'm
with the
like,
therapist?
absolutely. And I'm like,
Billy Crystal?
I'm like, as long as I don't go outside and my car blows up, I'm like, I will take it to the grave. I'll take it to the grave.
You're the fucking doctor.
I know. Absolutely. And he kept calling me doctor. He's like,
so
listen,
funny.
doctor. I'm like, you don't
Just let
have
him
to
call. Let him call you.
call
whatever
me,
you want.
whatever you want to
Just
do with
call
me,
whatever you
call
want.
me, but I'm on your side, I told him. I'm on your side, buddy.
What's funny is that it's so true. Like if you've ever watched The Sopranos, that was the whole
Absolutely.
great dialogue between Dr. Milfy and Tony Soprano.
That's
that
right.
made the whole show.
Absolutely.
Because it humanized him. It showed him with all the different hats. If that aspect was not in the show, it would have not been a hit as it was.
Absolutely.
So her, and actually Catherine, who does the show with me, was on the show too.
Yeah.
That whole part of it, it just shows that humanized him as because he was in therapy. And my point is that a lot of men, a lot of wise guys. I live around wise guys my whole life.
Yeah.
They would never go for recovery, would not go to therapy, wouldn't even go to the doctor if they had a pain.
You go to the
And
priest. When my father was young, every time there was a problem, they took you to the priest.
Yeah, and they don't even go to the priest.
And the priest gave you, there are no priests left.
No
It
more
seems
priests
like
left.
we're looking for priests everywhere.
Yeah, we need priests.
But they'd give him a blessing and they'd just send him home.
Yeah.
And, there you go. Or don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you can't let the family dynamic, out of the bag. So.
A lot of things were swept under the rug at that point.
Absolutely.
A lot.
But but my mother's side was different. We were talkers. Everything. We didn't keep anything quiet. My father's side was quiet. Our side, my mother's side, totally enmeshed.
Yeah.
Everybody knew, you're
what
peeing.
was going on. Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm peeing. What are you doing? Oh, I'm, changing my tampon or whatever. Sorry, guys. But nothing was sacred. So that's why I love to speak. I look forward to when I motivate women and I speak because you're right. It humanizes who we are.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being transparent and saying, you know what, I'm fucked up. I need help. I'm going for help and I'm going to do the best I can.
I think a lot of people, and I think a lot of, I know for the men I have been with in my life, their pride and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I attract narcissists. I don't know what it is, or sociopaths. I know myself, I can't fix that they're going to have to fix that, for themselves, because those type of people that you're with, they want to push it on you that you're the problem.
That's right.
No, I'm reacting to how you are doing. What you're doing is causing the problem, and I'm just the product of how I'm reacting is the product of what
Absolutely.
you did.
Remember your toolbox.
Right.
I always love to have my own personal toolbox, imaginary toolbox. My tools can only fix me.
Right.
Your tools can only fix you. And I always say, you don't call a plumber if you have a broken ankle. You don't call an orthopedic surgeon to fix your toilet. Right. And that's what happens. But I spent years being affected by relationships, and whatever mood they were in, I would take it on. And that's just a horrible way to feel.
Honey, oh my God.
I know.
My story is, I have a story. I got to write a book for what I went through in my life.
Yeah.
I should.
And it happens. And a lot of times it's because we're sensitive and we're caring.
Yes.
And
people take advantage of that.
Yeah, you turn yourself inside out for people.
And then, when you're not so nice anymore, then, oh my God.
Oh, she's a bitch.
You're terrible.
Yeah.
No, because I'm telling you about yourself and you don't want to hear it.
A narcissist I get a lot of women that come in and they've been in narcissistic relationships, and a narcissist will never say two things. I'm sorry, or, let me take a look at myself. They'll never say, or thank you. It's all about them. And it's so intriguing to me how the mind of a narcissist works. And I've dealt with one. I had a really awful relationship with a pastor that was a narcissist.
Wow. And probably he was probably more of a sociopath because he was probably so
Whoa.
full of himself.
Unbelievable.
Did he morph himself to be like you? To be like, oh, like did he try to? You know,
what I found interesting is there was almost a jealousy behind, because a narcissist wants you to line up behind them.
yes.
So for me, as I came around the corner, oh, no, and
Didn't like it.
you trust these people, you trust them, and you look up to them, and then just one day I had a feeling, you know what, I don't like what I see. As I gained more wisdom, and I was out a little bit more, talking with more people, I had to break that. I had to break that relationship because it wasn't healthy for me. I know what works and what doesn't. And a narcissist will know how to push your buttons.
Oh, yeah.
And where to find them.
Oh yeah. I had an argument with my narcissist the other day, and I wouldn't get on the phone.
Yeah.
I
Good
said-
boundaries.
I said, I will talk to you. If you're not going to yell at me, you're not going to scream at me. I'm not doing it.
but that's good.
No.
Your boundaries are in a good
No.
spot.
That's it.
You don't need me.
I'm not going down that road with you.
You know what? We drive down a dead-end road expecting another way out, and it never happens. We keep driving down that same, here it is. Oh,
And
still
all
no
I
way
did
out.
was I just wanted to make sure they were okay.
Oh.
And I heard they had an issue, and a friend called them and said I was concerned, flipped out, all the how horrible I am, this blah blah blah, the whole 9 yards. And then then I'm like, okay, and then hangs up on them, and then starts calling me, like off the hook, and texting me. Like, so if you don't want to talk to me, then why are you calling me then?
Because I always say to people, you know what? It's like they want to put us in a high chair. Remember high chairs when our kids
Yes.
were little? It's like putting us in a high chair, and they want to spoon feed us their shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? We can't allow that from anyone. And as we get older, we recognize what and who we want in our life. And it's not
true.
easy.
It's not
'Cause
easy.
People will beg you to get healthy, but then when you do, they don't like you.
Yes.
don't
That's
want you
so
anymore.
true. No,
They don't
because then
like
you
you.
don't like them anymore, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's why.
they don't want any. It can go both ways.
Because a lot of people, do you find that a lot of people want, like, cadence that they have to, they want somebody who's needy, and that, it's like you almost, if you see that somebody is real, like, say somebody, let's just say somebody's in recovery, so let's say, they almost like the person better when they're on drugs and drinking because they can control them and manipulate them.
And a lot of times they feel better about themselves. Because that person's down and you're up.
And they're up. Yep. They don't want to hear that you're better.
You got it.
Right. So, yeah, people
Keep
are
your
fucked
circle
up.
small.
People are fucked up.
Sure, they are.
Yeah, they are. They're fucked up.
And even the younger kids coming in. I mean, I don't do a lot of children, but a lot of the teenage girls that come in, they're being hit left and right.
Do you know that's crazy? I can't even believe how bad it is now with everything that's going on. First of all, with women's rights, with this, with that. I mean, everybody's gay now, and now men are beating women up now again. Like, what is happening here?
It's insanity.
Like, I just don't even it's you know what it is? It's the phone. It's the social media.
Amen.
It's what it is.
Yep.
That's the beast.
I will
That's the
tell you,
beast.
more marriages. I'm a marriage therapist,
I was broken
relationship
from that,
therapist.
right.
There are so many relationships and marriages and families that have broken up because of social media. Because everything's that you're not happy at home. Oh, let me see if
look it up.
let me see if my 5th grade crush is available, and then they go find him or her, and then before you know it, they're leaving for this person, and it's unreal. Bring back
Crazy.
the pagers or the house phone.
Right.
Remember that with
It's
the cord?
crazy. It's crazy. But it's like you think the
too
grass is
much.
always greener on the other side, and it's not. It's not. It's just not. It's just, you know what? And as you get older, you start to realize that, and you start to learn. I wish that I knew what I knew now then, I would have ruled the world.
That's all of our
Yes.
that's all of our wish.
By the time you know everything, you're too tired to try to apply it.
You're too tired, and you have
So
more
what
years behind you than you do ahead of
I don't
you.
care anymore. Like, well, I don't. Now at this point, now I don't even care anymore. So it doesn't matter. Like, all right, I guess you know. But I think it's because you learn as you get older, and you get more content with yourself as you get older, and you're okay in your own skin. And
That's to be.
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
58.
Okay. Do you feel so comfortable in your skin now? Like,
Yes.
I feel so comfortable
Absolutely.
in myself now.
But boy, did it take some
It took
roller
a long
coaster
time
rides
to
to get
feel
here.
confident in myself.
And just making a decision. Like, I'm a reactor because
Me too.
I do,
Oh, well,
I
we're
do-
Italian. That's
I
what
blame
happens.
it on
We
the
totally-
Italian. I
yes.
can't help it. But yeah, I preach. Oh, there's 2 R's. The red R is reacting. The yellow R is responding. Honey, I'm a red. I know I am.
I'm a total red. I'm a triple red.
I mean, the other day my father said something to me. I had about 4 clients. I get home. He brings me a piece of mail that he doesn't understand. And I'm like, can you just give me a minute? And blah, blah, blah. I mean, I love him, but give me a minute to put my head in the freezer.
Right.
And, but I'm a reactor, and I know that about myself. And this is what I try to tell people. Whatever you are, embrace it.
Yeah.
Whatever you are. You don't have to be loving and sweet and kind and joyful every second. That's not even realistic. You can react and get angry, and you can be disgusted, and you can feel all these emotions, but yet you still can be okay with you.
Yeah.
Know who you are.
That's it.
That's
That's it. Know who you are.
I have women make lists, and they put it out in the refrigerator, and they're like, you know this about me, you know that about me, and you know what? That's okay.
Right.
We don't have to be shamed into feeling like, well, today I wasn't very kind. I gave the cab driver the finger, or I was pissed that some woman hit me with the cart in the supermarket.
Yeah.
It's okay to react.
Yeah.
I mean, we have it for a reason.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I'm a
women are
reactor.
more emotional than men too anyway,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh. Men, I love that come in that want therapy. You know what they'll say to me? Jamie, do you have the 6-week package? Because I should be fine in 6 weeks. And I'm like, well, we'll give it 6 weeks.
Well, can I tell you something? Are you the type of therapist who says, well, tell me what you think?
No.
Because I'm telling you, I want my money back from my therapist because
No.
I know I'm here to tell me what you think.
I don't.
I already know what I think. I want to know what you think about
I'm not
what's going on
interested in
here.
what they think, because I know if you're thinking that way, you shouldn't be in here.
Right,
maybe.
but you're not asking because that drives me nuts, and I feel like I got scammed by so many therapists.
You're going to hear me.
Right, good, because then I'm going to come to you because
You
I
are
need a
gonna hear
therapist
me.
who can talk to me because I hate that.
Yes.
Why do
no.
they do that?
Because, again,
They don't know what to say. I mean, I'm here for you to help me and give me some kind of
that's right.
something. Give me something. I'm not here just to talk. Give me some kind of
Hence
something.
the motivating part
Right.
in me, because that's why you're coming to me. You need to. I will listen with my little ears, but I also have a big mouth.
Good. Well, then it's good.
For me, you're in here, and I'm going to tell you.
Right.
I'm going to tell you.
You're coming in for my advice. I'm going to give you
And
my
you're
advice.
gonna get it.
Or what I see as an outsider looking.
Oh, absolutely.
As a nonpartisan, bipartisan.
And I've been to my fair share of therapists that sit there and look at me, and I'm like, well, do you have a pulse?
Right.
Or here's my insurance card.
Really?
I'm out of here.
I know, and it's so.
No, I'm a very interactive therapist.
Yes. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So you're a good therapist.
I don't know how else to be.
I mean, listen, and every therapist should be like that because I'm telling you,
know
I
how
want my
else to
money
be.
back. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I was laughing because my friend, we were at this event in Florida for Power Magazine in Long Island, and there's this woman, she's a therapist too, and actually no, she's not, she's a motivational speaker, and she said something that was so profound. I said, honestly, I'm gonna get my money back from my therapist because in 5 minutes you just recapped everything I needed to hear.
Absolutely.
I go, seriously? I go, how come it took me 10 years from therapy to freaking figure this shit out? You just completely wrapped the whole thing up in a bow and gave it to me, because it's like you just feel like you want, what is it really about? What's therapy? And I think that therapy is you have to build, right? If you're a physical therapist, you're building somebody's muscles, you're building somebody's bones, you're helping them build that up. So a therapist needs to build up your mind and your soul and your emotions and everything else.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you're doing. You're helping build yourself back up and bring you up to a level of semblance, the way you feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Or give you that perspective that you need.
And the way I'll say it to them is, well, in the great words of Dr. Phil, when they're, well, I did this and I did that and I, and I'll say to them, well, in his great words, how's that working for you?
Right.
Obviously, it's not. So let's wipe out the house and let's build on a good, solid foundation. And that foundation is you.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in hearing their version. I know that.
Right.
But I want them to listen to me.
Right.
And where I get my authoritative information.
Do you feel like that you have that do you ever feel sometimes like, who am I to tell somebody that what they need to hear? Or
Never. Never.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence.
Never.
I love it.
I'm blessed. I feel like this is a calling for me. Mm-hmm. When I motivational speak, I have big goals. I want to take over the whole audience on these talk shows and say, listen, they put comedians out there. You don't need to laugh. You need to be motivated.
Right.
Let's take a moment but absolutely not. No, I know what I need to do, and I'm going to get in there and do it.
Love it. I love it. So tell everybody where they could find you and what's coming up next for you.
Well, social media right now is being our good friend Michelle. Shout out Michelle Barone. Michelle is right now, her team is working on my social media.
Okay.
So I do have my website coming up, which is going to be youremotionalbeauty.com.
Love it.
And I will be on Instagram. I will be on Facebook. I will be on TikTok. And you will be seeing me do a lot of pop-up motivating quotes. And just moving forward, I have to connect with Dolores. I need her to wear my shirt and you to wear my shirt that says I am an emotional beauty.
I would love to wear your shirt.
And I'm going to order those shirts and I'll get in touch with you.
And I want to say I'm not only beautiful,
she's an emotional beauty.
Inside
she
too.
Absolutely. We love our outsides, but we got to love our insides.
No, we do.
Too. But
I have to tell you, when you look good outside, you do feel better inside.
Amen.
Even though it sounds pretty shallow, but it's true.
It's not shallow.
It's good.
You
got to start somewhere.
Let me tell you, I am in agreement.
Don't you tell women to do that? Go get a hair. Go get your nails done.
Absolutely.
Do something to make yourself
get a
feel
nice
better.
massage, a facial, get those lashes.
Yeah.
Do what you have to do.
You need
they
that.
Connect.
Of course they connect because it's part of you.
Absolutely.
So if you feel the outer beauty, you're going to feel the inner beauty.
And let me tell you,
it's going to give you confidence.
If I didn't believe in outer beauty, I would have rolled out of bed and not had my makeup girl come at 7:00 in the morning.
Me too.
I know, but it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Yes, and you look gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Today. But I'm totally on board with you.
Thank you so much. But hopefully, I'm going to get some motivational speaking engagements done. Get my website and my social up.
I'm coming.
And maybe come back and visit.
I would love to, and I'd love to have you back.
You are wonderful.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for coming on.
Jen.
And if you are in the market for old school Italian cafe, right in the heart of Queens, Ridgewood, Queens, try my favorite place, Dolce Bean Cafe. They serve the best espresso, coffee, cappuccino, latte. Everything's imported directly from Italy. Delicious. And gelato, too. Dolce Bean Cafe. They are the best. So, everybody, have a great day.